Topping today's news, 3 drownings in separate incidents on Tuesday. The Prime Minister and the opposition weighing in on the Grand Bahama business dilemma. A new Chief Justice is sworn in, and an update on the rollout of the COVID vaccines for children. Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Jarino Saunders. This is your JCN Evening News. Thanks for joining us. An unfortunate turn of events as police were called to a scene shortly after 5 p.m. on Tuesday evening with reports of a suspected drowning incident of a male child in waters of the golf course in the Queen Elizabeth Sports Complex just off Celery Drive near Yellow Elder. Police press liaison Superintendent Crystalyn Skipping says the discovery of the body was made by golfers around 5:30 p.m.
Officers responded and discovered the body of a male partially submerged in the pond here. The body appears to be that of a child within the ages of 10 to 12. At present, we do not know who this child is, nor have our department received a report of a missing child.
As the investigations into this matter are still early, officers say no foul play seems to be involved, as it appears the young male went to the pond to swim before he drowned. Superintendent Skipping says the child may have been in the pond for at least 24 hours. However, there have been no reports of a missing child made by parents or guardians. She is sending a strong warning to parents and guardians.
And so it is against that backdrop that I wish to send a firm message to parents that you need to know where your children are. You need to ensure that your children are always with a responsible adult. And let me say emphatically that if our investigations reveal that this particular incident, that there was some form of child neglect, you will see the parent or parents being charged in connection with this matter. We have a zero tolerance approach when it comes to our darlings to children. Children are our future, and we're supposed to look out for these children.
As it is the summer months and children will seek to go to nearby beaches and waters to swim, police are urging parents and guardians to pay close attention to their children and their whereabouts at all times. Meanwhile, in Grand Bahama on Tuesday, police say they discovered the body of a boy who they have been searching for since Monday. The body was pulled from waters in Deadman's Reef near Holmes Rock in western Grand Bahama. Police on Tuesday also reporting that a woman drowned in waters at Stanyard Creek, Andros, while trying to rescue her grandson, who had gone out too far into the water and was drowning. Unfortunately, the adult female herself became a victim of drowning. Prime Minister Philip Davis asking the Delzato family to reconsider leaving Grand Bahama following disagreements with the Grand Bahama Port Authority. The family, owner of Gold Rock Home Design Center and Do It Center, all established and located in Grand Bahama, last week said they would no longer be associated with Grand Bahama, revealing plans to shut down operations on the island. The Prime Minister has since spoken to the Delzato family, pleading with them to resolve differences so that business operations in Grand Bahama may continue.
I'm always concerned when investors in the country find it impossible to continue and with their investment because they feel that they're being hindered in their process by persons who have the authority to allow them to prosper. So I had a conversation with the family, and I don't want to disclose the content of that. I did indicate to them that as government I want to intervene to see how I can resolve the situation in respect to their investment. Of course, as you will know, the Bahamians who are employed here are now losing their jobs. The idea is to try to save jobs.
In a statement made earlier, the Prime Minister said, regrettably, a number of Bahamian jobs were lost, and it is the main reason why the government has asked them to reconsider their position. He said, despite the very difficult issues they have, asked the Delzato family to spend every effort to resolve the matter. Reports are that close to 100 jobs would be impacted if the businesses are to shut down. The Prime Minister was attending the swearing-in of the new Chief Justice Ian Winder at Bahama on Wednesday morning. Leader of the official opposition, Michael Pintard, criticizing Grand Bahama officials following the Delzato family's announcement for plans to cease operation on that island. Again, The family, which operates Gold Rock Home Design Center and Do It Center, announced plans to leave the island following a dispute with the Grand Bahama Port Authority. Mr. Pintard says the F&M views the situation as a grave concern.
Grand Bahama has been going through an extremely difficult time, and we believe that this is the worst possible time in the midst of a hurricane season for a major group of companies to give such a short notice of their intention to close. This was signaled at least a month ago with an initial round of layoffs because of the difficulty between DevCo and Gold Rock Contractors Direct.
He says the opposition finds the late alert from the leadership on Grand Bahama to the Prime Minister regarding the matter most inappropriate, saying the Prime Minister Davis should have been made aware of any conflict brewing on the island much sooner. He went on to speak about the families affected by the sudden uproot of these businesses.
A number of families, more than 100 families, are likely to have the breadwinner or a contributor to the finances of that family without a job. Secondly, there are other companies in Grand Bahama that rely on this group of companies, and they too would be affected. There are a number of very serious developments on the island that have started and others that are about to start that rely on the products and services of this group of companies. Those are likely to be affected, especially since, as you are aware, there are already disruptions in the supply chain in the global market, and the Bahamas has been affected. We will be affected even more.
Mr. Pintard is urging Grand Bahama Port Authority to tap down on the statements being made, saying the conversations occurring at this point are obviously not helpful. He says it is clear what was needed was government intervention. Ian Winder was sworn in as the Bahamas' new Chief Justice by Deputy to the Governor General, Cynthia Mother Pratt, during a ceremony at Bahama this morning. Winder has served as a Chief Justice since July 1, 2014. He was also appointed Judge of the Court of Appeal in the Turks and Caicos Islands on February 2, 2020. Prime Minister Philip Davis and a number of other cabinet ministers were in attendance. Mr. Winder was also a partner in Mr. Davis's firm, Davis & Co., from 1998 to 2009. Mr. Winder replaces the outgoing Chief Justice, Sir Brian Moree, who officially retires on Thursday, August 4th. Before entering the weekly cabinet meeting on Tuesday, the Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. Michael Dowell, was asked to give an update on the rollout of the pediatric vaccines since they arrived in country just over a week ago, and for some, just in time for the new school year.
We launched on the 28th. We had a very good turnout. I think about 63 to 68 young individuals received the vaccine. Again, we're starting vaccinations again today, and we have about 66 bookings, a lot of walk-ins.
The Pan American Health Organization's revolving fund under the COVAX mechanism sent 24,000 doses of the Pfizer pediatric vaccine to the Bahamas. Dr. Dowell says his ministry is taking a methodical approach as they extend the pediatric vaccination program to the Family Islands.
And so we're watching it very closely because we're just ironing out the kinks here in New Providence, and of course we'll be rolling it out into Grand Bahama and the Family Islands soon as we worked out all of the logistics and the timings for each clinic.
According to Dr. Dowell, approximately 54 to 56% of the population is vaccinated. He says with the introduction of the pediatric vaccines, they expect that percentage to increase with the hopes of reaching 70% of the population vaccinated by the end of the year. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs emphasizing that there is no legal obstacle to any nationality applying for a visa to enter the country or obtaining a work permit to enter the Bahamas legitimately. These comments come in response to alleged statements made in the press about potential prejudice against a specific nationality. Last Friday at the office of the Prime Minister, Chargé d'Affaires at the Haitian Embassy in Nassau, Anthony Pierre Brutus, gave remarks on the recent tragic human smuggling incident that involved Haitian nationals. Commenting on the issue of illegal immigration and the hardship of the legal process, specifically for those looking to migrate from Haiti. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs contends that the process bears no legal obstacles, saying that any foreign national looking to enter the Bahamas may legitimately apply in person or online for a visa through the Consular Division of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in the country where that visa is required. We'll take a break here, and we'll be right back after these commercials.